Okay, I would like to take a minute because I'm happy to have the honor to announce our Reverend Dr. Philip Delong as our speaker today. Reverend Delong is a spiritual medium, healer, and teacher. And to quote Reverend Delong, he will say, "I embrace the expression of gratitude for the light I have been granted and to share my gifts for the service of others." Please extend a warm welcome for our Reverend Dr. Philip Delong.
Thank you, Chris. All right, can you hear me? Yeah. All right, thanks for the introduction, Darlene, and welcome everybody this morning. Now, Dr. Lewis Gates mentioned the passing of Reverend Bob Johnstone. I believe it was yesterday early morning, and Bob was a teacher, a mentor, and most of all, a friend to me. And he was actually a good friend of Dr. Thomas as well, who was also one of my teachers. So Bob would go around and saying that I, Philip, am Bob's student. And then Dr. Thomas would say, "No, he's my student." You know, it's all that. And I would say, "I'm both your student. However, Bob is my first teacher." So I tried to settle it that way. Whether it worked, I don't know, because they were each other's, at each other all the time, but bless them both. Okay, so basically, you will find your teacher when you are ready. We've all heard that. So the teacher will basically appear. In a biblical sense, it's put another way, when you seek me, you shall find me. So we all have to look that when we're ready, we will find that teacher. It all lives within. It's part of our spirituality. And I want to talk a little bit about spiritualism now. And spiritualism is not a religion, it is a way of life. It is using your intuition or your sixth sense. It is finding infinite intelligence or the great spirit within. Okay, we have to realize that that spirit lives within and without us. It is finding your God within and without you. And we have to recognize the fact that although we are part of that oneness, we are all different. We have different upbringings, different cultures, and different beliefs. Finding our God will bring love into our hearts and the peace within. As spiritualists, we believe that we are spirit before we are born. Spirit when we are on earth, with a body and spirit after death. So basically, we are a spiritual being in a physical body, as I am talking to you now. So that God lives within and without. We spiritualists believe that there is a world beyond the physical world, which we call the spirit realm or the spirit world. That spirit is a world of thought. And some people call it heaven. But when we say that that is a world of thought, we have to look at all the beginning and infinite intelligence and how the universe was created. There's a saying that says, in the beginning there was the Word. And that is what created the universe. okay, with harmonic vibrations and harmonic waves that created everything. But we have to look at it. What created that word in the first place? It's thought. And thought is a very powerful thing. It travels faster than the speed of light, faster than the speed of sound. It is telepathic. And if we look at what our thoughts create, we as spiritualists can create anything, and we have to have that belief inside of ourselves. Our main aim as spirit is to get closer to God or nearer to God, or perfection in developing our soul. We're all on a soul path here. And that soul path, as my introduction said, we are of service to everyone. Okay, but typically we have to service ourselves first. We have our challenges, each and every one of us. So we have to love ourselves before we can love others. And that's part of our soul path as to gaining the knowledge and then the wisdom to be of service to others. One of the ways that, as a spirit, that we can do this is being born into the physical body that we have and leading a life on earth where we learn the lessons we need to learn, and that is the progress that our soul needs. When we return to spirit, we have many more lessons to learn and more work to do. So the purpose of mankind is to achieve godhood. And we do that through our karmic experiences. It's part of our soul progression. And the only way that we can get better is, one, is being service to others. When we return, okay, many spirits work close to the earth plane as our guides and helpers. We have to all realize that we're not going this path alone. We have a lot of people helping us. They guide us through difficult times and through good times. They protect us. This is all done in the name of love, in the name of infinite intelligence and God's love. And we have to look at it as faith, hope, and charity. And the greatest one of these is charity. And charity is another name of love. And look at charity. I mean, if I had triplets, I'd name them Faith, Hope, and Charity. Okay? But, all right, but by helping others, we can learn and grow nearer to God and His understanding. We need to live by the golden rule. And we stated that in one of our principles. The one that Casadega has is a tongue twister. It's, we believe that the highest morality is contained in that golden rule. Whatsoever ye would that others should do unto you, do ye also unto them. Now, I had several discussions with Robert Johnstone about this actual phrase of the golden rule. And what he said, the way that it is stated is that it's more like an eye for an eye. All right? Whatsoever ye would that others should do unto you, do unto them. So what if they do you harm? Okay? It's not what the infinite intelligence and living by the natural and physical laws would tell you to do is, if they harm you, harm them back. But the other phrase of the golden rule that we know more often is, do unto others as you would do unto them. So if you do good, good will come your way. It's like the natural law of retribution, living by that natural law. So that's what Robert Johnstone said. I have a quote from Socrates, and he puts it this way: I cannot teach anybody anything. I can only make them think. All right? So when you think about that, you know, which golden rule are you going to follow? But it is one that we should have our own ethics and use it that way, and be of service to others and use that charity, that love, that hope, and that faith. Love your neighbor as you would love yourself, and that means whatever the color or the creed that they possess. It's, again, part of that oneness. We're all one. We all want to be happy. We can follow the natural laws, the natural and physical laws, and make our own happiness or unhappiness. Personally, I prefer to be happy. All right, so we have to make the right choices. So we all have helpers that help us on the spiritual side. We all have a guardian angel who helps us. We also have other spirit helpers who assist us with whatever problems or needs that we are having. But it is important that we ask them for that help. They cannot lead our lives for us, but they can give us the thoughts, to help us solve the problems. This is connecting to infinite intelligence. And how do we grow spiritually, and how can we help ourselves? We can first start by taking the time to link with infinite intelligence. That is prayer, talking, asking questions, and of course, being thankful for all the blessings that we have. And as my mentor, Dr. Thomas, would say, meditate, meditate, meditate. And that is so important, to get that connection with infinite intelligence. And there are two parts of meditation. The first is what we call prayer, but that is sending out our thoughts or our intents as to how our lives are progressing. And the second part is just listening to that spirit. So we all need to find the quiet time to meditate. It's very important. And you can meditate alone, or you can find groups to meditate with. The group consciousness is a powerful force. And if we all send out good thoughts and healing type energies and vibrations to the world and to other people, then our lives will actually change. And we have to believe in that. That's that faith and that hope. And it's carried by the vibration of love. So what we have to do is link within. And we have to understand the natural and physical laws, which we can call God's laws. But it's the natural and physical laws, to connect with those and your fellow human beings. Now, spiritualism is what I call the the religion of common sense. Okay, if we followed natural laws and physical laws, then we should be happy people, create our own happiness. Now, I can give you an example of how to be unhappy. Okay, and it does natural laws and physical laws. So if I want to be unhappy and I'm unhappy with this world, I'm going to go to a cliff and I'm going to jump off. Okay? So the physical law says I may get hurt or I might die. Okay? And the natural law of gravity is going to take care of that. So we have to look at it. We have to do our own, create our own happiness. And one of the natural laws that I particularly connect with is the law of silence, right? And that has a lot to do with the golden rule as well. Do unto others as others would do unto you, because you don't want to get into a spat of words being thrown against each other, or in some cases, a pissing war. Okay? But there is an ancient Sufi teaching, and it's called the Four Gates. And Sufism is an ancient sect of Islam, I believe, in Iran. So the Four Gates are, whenever you speak, let your words go through the four gates. And the first gate is it true? Okay, so we want to say truths. Okay, we don't want to have any gossip, any half-truths, any white lies. Okay, a lot of people, my mother would even say, white lies are okay. But they're not. They'll catch up with you. So, first gate, is it true? So, and you have to use some discernment if you turn on the TV news too. Okay, so, all right, so is it true? That's the first gate. The second gate is it kind? All right, so we want to say kind things, because if we say kind things, the gratitude and the blessings and my you look nice today, that is what we will receive in return. And then the third gate, is it necessary? Well, there's another discernment that you have to, use. It can be true and kind, but is it necessary? And one of the examples would be my wife coming out of the closet. And, okay, she's got a dress on and she's got another one in this hand. Does this look nice on me, or do you think this is better? And then, depending on my reaction, it can be true, if I say, that dress makes you look fat. Okay, but it's not kind or necessary, so, I gotta step back a little bit. So, but that's an example, true, kind, necessary. And then the fourth gate is, does it improve upon the law of silence, or does it improve upon the silence? Okay, so basically what my mother would say about that, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. Okay, because that's going to upset the apple cart for some people. So, but we all have to look at the four gates and that law of silence and what that does for us spiritually. You have to look at the law of silence. That's a lot of meditation with that as well. So we all must be giving something back to society. That's where the service comes in. and just not taking. So we need to give our time to help others who are going through difficulties. So when we give, we will also receive, and sometimes tenfold. Many are called upon to both serve God, but to also serve your fellow man, but you have the free will to decide to do it or ignore it. But service should be part of your path. There are many ways to do service, and sometimes we do it naturally without even realizing it. Random acts of kindness. And how often do you just listen to people? Well, listening is a skill. Okay? And if we listen to them, then we can help them through their problems, showing them kindness and compassion. But giving our time, okay? We're all here on this linear time. Giving your time is one of the most important things we can do. It's giving our time to see the lonely, the bereaved and troubled, and calling people, calling your neighbors to see how they are doing and what problems we may assist them with. So it's all about service. And it's all about absent healing as well. What we can use our time to send those who need that absent healing, our prayers, and have a positive effect on them. And we can go volunteer in many places that need us to do so. We can visit the sick. And using those gifts and experience gained in your lives, okay, that is where your soul progression is. That is how we attain godhood, is being of service to others. This is what becoming a spiritualist is. Charity. Serving infinite intelligence in mankind, but most of all, it is loving yourself and having that effect on others. I thank you for listening.
And that was very nice. Thank you so much, Reverend Joel.